Well, I think this is right, and I think it's important for our listeners to think about this in three different steps that get intermingled. The first is the ability to afford shelter, and whether policies should provide income support to people in order to meet the rents in their area, or whether it should be subsidies to building shelter. But the question is, can people afford shelter? The second step is, do they own that shelter or do they rent it? And we have had a traditional bias in the U.S. to pushing people to own that shelter that mystifies most economists, myself included, and which has produced a lot of difficulties. Then the third step is, if you're going to own, how do you finance that ownership? Do you put in your savings and equity invest, or do you borrow some or all of it? And that's the corner in which the GSEs, Fannie and Freddie, have lived for a long time. The housing finance of owner-occupied housing. We have bigger problems. Enough shelter that's affordable, whether you own versus rent it, and getting the policies right there. And then the third step, financing effectively home ownership when people borrow money. And I think that, when Sarah talks about a broader housing policy, one would hope that that's the discussion we'd have. Let's break this into the right pieces and do it sensibly.